hello to all of you at St Paul's. It's great to be with you today, even virtually. I wanted to share a few thoughts today on this theme of how to be alone. How do you cope during lockdown? Because I know it's been a difficult time for many people, and it's caused stress for families and for individuals. And just some thoughts on that from St Paul. St Paul wrote a letter once to the Christians in Philippi, in the book of Philippians. He did it while he was alone. He was actually in house arrest in Rome at the time. And so he writes this letter out of the experience of being alone himself. And in Philippians chapter 4, he says a number of things that which really help us as we think about how to be alone today. First thing he says is, don't worry. Don't worry about anything. It's kind of like a command. He tells them not to worry. Now, he's aware that there are many things that when you're alone you do worry about. You've got too much time to think sometimes. And we may be worried about our families, about our own health, maybe about our future, about our jobs, whether they'll be there for us when all this is over. And St Paul says, do not worry. Just step back, acknowledge the worries, acknowledge the anxieties, and step back from them and say, okay, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to worry. And you might think, well, how do you do that? And he then goes on to say, well, the way you manage worry is to let your requests be known before God. Bring them before God. Bring them to him and leave them there. In this time, we've been having deliveries from Tesco's and other places to our house. And often what happens is that the delivery person comes along, and because of the social distancing, we don't want to go too near each other. So what they do is they bring the bags full of all the groceries from Tesco's, and they leave them on our doorstep, and then they walk away. They don't go back, they don't check them again, they simply walk away and leave them there. And maybe that's a little picture for us as to what we're to do with our worries and anxieties at this time, where we bring our worries and we leave them in the presence of God, and we say, God, they're your problem, they're your issue, you are there with me. Yes, they're my issue as well, but I try to leave them there and I walk away and not try to dwell on them too much. Of course, we have to carry these things with us, but as much as we can, we bring them before God, we name them to him in prayer, and we leave them there. Third thing he says about this, don't worry, let your requests be known before God. He says, by prayer with thanksgiving. And in a time like this, I think it's really important when we're alone to give thanks. We're probably aware of many things that we're not able to do right now that we would normally do. We would normally meet up with friends, family, go to restaurants, go out and walk as much as we like, and go to work and so on. We can't do those things. And you can either turn to grumbling and being complaining and saying, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, how terrible it all is. Or you can turn it into thanksgiving to say, yeah, I remember being able to go out and see my friends. Wasn't that a great thing? Just give thanks for that and look forward to the day when you'll be able to do it again. There's a big difference between an attitude of grumbling and an attitude of thanksgiving. And thanksgiving, there's all kinds of studies that do say that for our mental health, gratitude and thanksgiving are really, really important. And the one thing that Christian faith can bring is a sense not just of gratitude for everything that's out there, but a real thankfulness, giving thanks to a person. Because what Christian faith says is that we can be grateful to a person. We can offer our thanks to the God who made us and who gives us all good things. So he says, be thankful. Maybe take a time at the end of every day just to sort of pause and give thanks for whatever has happened that day, all the little things that have been good, maybe the things that we're missing at the moment, to give thanks for those things. The last thing he says is this. He says, whatever is good, whatever is beautiful, whatever is true, whatever is peaceful, think about these things. And his advice is to make sure you be careful what you let into your mind and your heart. To use time in lockdown scrolling through Twitter and some of the nasty stuff that goes on there, or watching stuff on TV that really is not going to do your mood very good, is not really what you want to do. Be careful what you let into your heart and your mind, what you read, what you look at, what you check out on social media or online. Just take a guard about that and say, okay, I'm not going to go there. If this is going to make me feel bad, if it's going to actually kind of undermine my mood, if it's going to make me feel angry and upset, then I'm not going to go there. I'm actually going to read things that are going to be helpful. Read the Bible. Read books that are going to inspire and encourage your faith. Connect in with people by Zoom who are going to encourage you and inspire you and to bring you life. And so there are 4 quick things that St Paul says in lockdown and in isolation. Do not worry. Bring your requests before God. Give thanks always. And think about whatever is good, whatever is true, and whatever is wonderful. Especially think about the God of Jesus Christ, who gives us everything that we need.